Hi everybody, welcome back to Arma 3, welcome to Vietnam, welcome to the SOG Prairie Fire cDLC, and this will be my tutorial video for people who are struggling to and maybe want to play this amazing campaign in a single player way. So here we are, I'm in the middle of the forest. I've got my SOG AI teammates with me, and so we're going to go through what mod you may well want to use, how you use those mods, what to expect as you're going through the mission, as we're about to get attacked here, I think, by this chap. Oh no, he hasn't seen us yet. And the little things you've got to watch out for, because remember, this is Arma 3. The DLC might not be that old, but the game is, and so quite a lot of it can be quite janky. Anyway, right, there we go, we took that guy out. And let's jump in and let's start off with the mods. Okay, so let's go through the mods I use when I'm playing Prairie Fire solo. Obviously the most important one is actually having the Prairie Fire mod itself, so I'll put a link in the description below the video. Now the next up is the simple single player cheat menu. Now before you go, wait a minute, what do you mean cheating, Rob? That's not right, is it? This is Arma, it's meant to be semi-realistic. Listen, there are occasions when you'll be playing a campaign, and this isn't just Prairie Fire, it could be any bit of Arma, especially Arma 3, where you'll need to do a task and you won't be able to do it because you won't be able to figure out how to do it, and you'll be like, oh, this is crazy, what's happening, how do I do this thing? It might be kill a certain target or find a target or find an item, and you'll be scratching your head, you'll be searching the internet. Meanwhile, the enemy are coming in and killing your AI teammates or damaging you, that you'll just want to put on invincibility for you and maybe your teammates, so that you can just hang fire for a bit, figure out what you've got to do, then by all means take the invincibility off. Also, you may well want to mess around in some of these scenarios as well, and I don't know, spawn in an APC or some more weapons or something like that, and trust me, I think that's fine for using the simple single player cheat menu. 2 primary weapons. Now I think this is a game changer when it comes to playing Arma 3, because this allows you to carry a submachine gun and a sniper rifle, or an assault rifle and a DMR, that sort of thing, you know, PUBG style or Call of Duty style, and you can enjoy the game so much more, and especially in Prairie Fire, where you really want a close-up gun that you can use when you bump into enemies in the jungle, but you also want to be able to pick off enemies at distance, because that's what happens a lot of the time. You're engaging targets that are quite a long way away, and if you've picked something in the middle, like an M16 with iron sights, you just can't enjoy it as much, and I'll show you how to use it as we go through the gameplay. CBA3, that comes with the 2 primary weapons. And then we have the automatic view distance. Now this is very useful, I think, into making the game run smoother, but what I will also put a link to in the description below the video is this very handy video by Nana, or Night In, where he goes through different ways of improving the performance of Arma 3, and you don't have to do all of them, but it's quite a good guide, and it will get your FPS up, because there's no doubt that Prairie Fire puts an awful lot of stress on any computer compared to ordinary Arma 3. You've got so much more jungle, haven't you, basically, foliage and that sort of stuff that your computer has to deal with. And I find, after following some of these, and especially putting on the automatic view distance mod, my FPS is much higher, and now I tend to get between 30 and 60 frames a second almost all of the time, rather than struggling. Okay, so that's that, so let's dive into the game. Okay, so here we are in Arma 3 Prairie Fire. You'll notice that I haven't got the 3D background, and that's one of those options for optimization we talked about before. But what we want to do is we want to go into the single player, we want to go into the campaign, we want to go into the Prairie Fire campaign, and then we want to go to play solo. I want to go into the game options, and we want to go to the difficulty, and what you want to change it all to novice. Honestly, have it easy. These games are designed to be played over and over again, and in fact, even with this one, the first one, you'll play it once and you'll probably get very frustrated at certain points in it, because you'll be like, oh, I wish I'd really known what I was meant to do then, and I would do it differently if I had to do it again. And that's a very valid point. And so once you've got used to the mechanics of actually what you're meant to do in the mission and how it works, at that point you can then come back and play it on a harder level. So if you're new to Arma 3 and you're new to kind of the way that missions work, this can be a bit confusing. It all can seem a little bit long-winded, but trust me, when you get into it, this is really, really cool. So the first thing you can have a look at, you could just have a look at the map. As you can see, we've got this map of, it's kind of a stylized version of Vietnam. We're kind of down here at the American base, and we're going to take a helicopter into our area of operation here, and we're going to land at one of these landing zones. Now this will be randomly set, so for different missions you'll land at different ones. We're then going to have to move away from the landing zone, and then you've got to basically put a mine down. It'll tell you to do that at some point, and we're going to get one of our AI teammates to do that. And then we can look for the road that we're looking for, which will probably be somewhere like here. We'll find this road. We can go investigate this camp as well. And then we head up into this area here to find the main camp. And again, this could be in a random location, so from mission to mission it'll be in a different place, where what we've got to do is we have to plant some doctored ammunition. So we can now go into the briefing. So the People's Army of Vietnam North or the People's Army of Vietnam is moving 10,000 tons of war material down the Ho Chi Minh Trail every week. PSYOPs has cooked up a batch of spiked ammo that would kill or maim its user. So what it's talking about there is that in the Vietnam War, so you had South Vietnam, which was the ally of the Americans. Then you had North Vietnam, which was the communist, which was supported by China and Russia. And the Americans didn't invade the North; they just bombed it a lot, which meant that what the North Vietnamese could do is ship lots and lots of ammunition and soldiers and supplies into South Vietnam to fuel the guerrilla war of the Viet Cong, who were the kind of the communist guerrillas in South Vietnam, and also, you know, gradually as they were all killed and they were replaced by the North Vietnamese army to supply them as well. And it was a great problem because they would go through the surrounding countries, so they would go through Cambodia and Laos. And so, you know, there's lots of cloak and dagger stuff where American soldiers were not meant to be going into Cambodia and Laos to interdict and find out what's going on. But with the Studies and Observation Group, this is kind of one of the things that they did. So we've got a briefing. So you've got your situation, you've got the mission. This is routine spike team recon mission. Insert covertly one of several pre-chosen LZs. Patrol the target zone, record enemy activity, strength, infrastructure, and location. So that kind of gets done automatically. As you get to the target zone, they go, oh, well done, and then you go off and do the next thing. When the opportunity presents itself, place the spiked ammo in a location where the enemy will find it, which is normally on a truck or in a truck or by a truck in some crates. So then you've got tactical, so it's going to be fair weather. But we need to take some boxes of spiked ammo, we need to take some mines, and execution. Insert into the area by helicopter, a CH-34. Locate the MVA way station while avoiding contact. Wait for an opportunity to enter the camp. Plant the booby-trapped ammo boxes. Neutralise the trackers and reach the landing zone. Locate and secure a landing zone. Defend the landing zone and extract. Now allow at least an hour for this, probably more. But with the new updates to Arma 3 Prairie Fire, you can save as you're going along, and that's really cool. And then we've got some things, so it's Columbia 01. So that's basically, so at the moment the team is just me, but we're going to sort that out very soon. So that's what we do. Let's hit continue, let's load up, and what you'll find is we'll get a little kind of talk about what's kind of going on. But if we head over here, what you've got to do to start off with is you've got to go over to the little hut where you got your munitions, and what we really need to pick up is the spiked ammunition. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get our spiked ammunition, then we're going to come out and we're going to spawn in our teammates. We're going to play around with our loadout, so we've got the exact loadout that we want, and then we're going to move on. Now, a couple of interesting things that the SOG AI mod also introduces is booby traps that will spawn randomly around the map. So if you look at my character here, see he's got this rather odd aerial thing on his back, and that's for detecting booby traps. So if you're moving along and you hear a beep, 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 it means that there is a booby trap nearby, and you need to move around it and get your team away from it. Now, what we can do now is if we go in here, all we're really interested in at the moment is picking up the mines, which are here. So if we come here and we press I, we can see we've got the booby trap mines, and then we just put these in our backpack. So 2 of those. Now, I'd also say, now what we'll do is we'll now come out, and then I'm just going to go into my inventory. And what you want to do now is you want to get rid of some stuff that we don't really need. So, because we want to lighten our load. So, you don't really need any smoke grenades, so let's just drag those out. Frags are useful, but we don't need that many. Our teammates are going to be throwing an awful lot of frags. Well, you want to keep lots of first aid kits. What have we got in here? There's our trap kit. We're not going to be using the grenade launcher. I say don't use it, so get rid of all this. This will really lighten your load an awful lot. And we don't really need the mines either, because our teammates are gonna sort that out. And this really lightens our load. Because what we can do now is if we go down on our mouse wheel, we'll say choose group to spawn, and we click on our mouse wheel, and we want Reconnaissance Team Columbia. We're going to have 9 AI coming with us, so we're going to say pick group. Here they are! How cool is this? And you notice that your the look of your fella has been changed to kind of be similar to your group. And what we can do now is if you press down now, we can now change our units loadout, or we can change the player's loadout, which is pretty cool. Now the first thing we want to do though is before we go into this, go into your inventory and just put your gun on the ground. What we'll do is we'll just move a little bit out of the way, because we're not going to use that gun. And then we're going to go down on our mouse wheel, and we're going to do change player loadout. So I'm going to click that in, and we're going to find the guns that we want to use. Now, the ones I think are really cool to start off with is that there's a suppressed M16 with a scope on it that's really good, and we've already got mags in our backpack for that, haven't we? We've got 11 M16 mags, and also the Tommy gun is really, really good as well. But there's loads of other stuff. You've got the SLR and all that sort of stuff. So let's find the M16 first. Here we go. Here we go. Right, here we go. So this is, where is it? So this is a suppressed M16 with a 4x scope. So that's really cool. So we're going to put that on our shoulder. Now what we're going to do is if we come out of this now, because we've got the twin weapon mod, if we press 4, it puts that away. And so now if we go down on our mouse wheel and select change player loadout again, we can choose our second weapon. And our second weapon, we're going to use the Tommy gun, which is it's the M something or other, I think. Let me find it. Let's make sure I get it right. Here we go. So the M1928 Tommy gun. And we're going to have that. So we're going to put that over there. And now we need ammo for it. We've already got lots of ammo for the M16. So we're going to scroll down until we get to the ammo. And you can play, I mean, look, there's MP40s. So a lot of this stuff was used in Vietnam. The North Vietnamese and the Viet Cong used Second World War weapons. So what we got the M1928, haven't we? Now the reason why the M1928 is so cool is because it has a really big magazine. Here we go. Right, here we go. We're into the mags. Did I go past it? No. Here we go. 50 round M1928 mag tracer. So, see, it's top. Unfortunately, for some reason, it's topped us up with grenades. So let's get rid of these grenades. Excuse me. Let's get rid of these claymores. Okay, we might have put something on the ground we didn't mean to. Mine ammo box booby trapped. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Okay. So 50 round tracer mag. 1. 2. 3. Now I think we need to go back and get another mine booby trapped because let's just see what we got. Oh no, there we go. Oh, sorry, I've got 3 there. So the mine ammo box booby trapped in our jacket, and then we've got loads of frags here. We don't want all these frags. Okay, and then we've got the other one. So that's good. So we've got this great loadout. So now if I press 4, we can swap back between the M16 with its scope, and press 4 to bring up our Tommy gun with its 50 round magazine, which is absolutely fantastic. Now before we actually get on the helicopter, let's just discuss a couple of how we can control our fellas here, because they're very, very useful. Now you can control them by pressing the tab button, and then we get the SOG AI wheel. Now in essence the one you're going to be using the most is follow me, this one. So you're going to be clicking that, and what they're going to be doing is they will all start, as you would expect, following you. And then what we can also do is we can press tab, and we could say we could put stealth on. Now if you have stealth equipped, what will happen is only the soldiers will with stealth with suppressed weapons will fire at an enemy when they see them, and they will generally hold fire until the enemies are very close or you tell them to. Also what we can do is we can say form a file like this, and they'll form up hopefully behind us. And then when we want to stop and kind of have a look at the map and have a breather, press tab. If we do this on lay dog, circle up here wherever you've been aimed at, they will then come over and they will kind of create a defensive circle around you. Now the beauty of using the AI in this single player mission is the fact that they are very, very good at spotting enemies, way better than you are. So as soon as you hear one of them shout enemy spotted, or you see it in the chat in the bottom left hand corner, bring up the map, and you're going to be zoomed in on the map, and look for where the enemies are, because they will then appear here. So if we get into a combat situation though, we want to control the guys a little bit differently. And what you want to do then is you hit tab, and then you kind of look where you want them to go. And then you would use this leapfrog 100 meters. So let's say the enemy were over here and we thought, right, we're going to attack them. We would look there and we'd tap leapfrog 100 meters. They will then be in an aggressive mode, and they will aggressively, half of the group at a time, move forward to engage the enemy, get cover, move forward, you know, leapfrogging each other. Similarly, if you want them to disengage, the problem is if you say follow me, a lot of the time they won't. They'll just be like, no, I'm in a gunfight here. I'm not going anywhere. But let's say the enemy over here, we wanted to disengage in this direction. We would just look that way, click leap from 100 meters, and they would then disengage in an appropriate manner, which means they will engage the enemy as they are pulling back, and they will do a thing like throw smoke grenades and throw frag grenades as well to cover the retreat. So that's very, very powerful indeed. Now sometimes these fellas will get stuck, and they'll get stuck on a rock behind a tree, and you'll be like, oh, what have I got to do? At that point you can use the vanilla Arma squad controls. So at the bottom of the screen you can see everybody's names, so, and that corresponds to one of your function keys. So I could say number 2 got stuck, I could press F2, and then I could say, you know, move there, and then he will then move away. Or I could say F2, you know, regroup, you know, or something like that. You can control them, and remember you press the tilde key to select them all. If you've got more than 9 AI teammates, if you press F12, that will bring it onto the next lot of players, and F11 takes them back. Okay, so brilliant, nice one, fellas. So let's now move over to the helicopter. Now we've got a good idea. Now, SOG AI also has context controls as well. So if we look at this helicopter and move our middle mouse wheel, we can see we've now got the option to all board vehicle, so we can get them all to go on. And it's important to make sure that whenever you're using vehicles, in these missions that you make sure your teammates get on the vehicle before you do, because if you get on first, sometimes the mission will carry on and the helicopter will take off without everybody else getting on it, and you'll leave them behind. So there we go. So we can do, say, all board vehicle. So we look at the helicopter, click in our middle mouse wheel, and here they come. And one at a time, they'll get up and they'll get on board the helicopter, and then when we're ready to go, when they're all on board, I will then get on as well, and then we will start flying away. How cool is this? Da, da, da. Okay, so I'll see you in the air in just a second. Okay, apologies, I forgot the fact that if you don't go into and actually select some weapons or some mines in here, the game doesn't like it and it won't carry on. So let's press I, let's go in here and let's pick up a mine, shall we?
These Chinese AK
there we go, so that's done. We've taken the boxes, so what we'll do now is we can head back to the helicopter where my illustrious AI teammates are already on the helicopter, and then we can carry on with the mission. So it's these little things that you come across that you make mistakes at, that will then become a lot clearer in subsequent missions, so you can enjoy them a lot more. Okay, so everybody's in, so let me get in as well, and what you should see is, what we can do is we can double press Alt, can have a look around, and here comes our pilots, and we're going to take off.
Vietnamese pilots, the King Bees, these guys are the best in the business. No matter how bad things get, they'll come and get you. You'd better bet Cowboy is ice cold in the middle of a shitstorm.
So this helicopter here, actually, if I might be wrong about this, but it actually has the engine from a World War II American bomber in. That's what they use. It wasn't a jet engine at this point. Now, we can put earplugs in so things get quieter. Now, one of the most important things you can do now is you can just skip the travel. I mean, by all means, have a look around if you want, and you can always go into first person, check out your squad, right, mates? But what we're going to do is we're going to skip the travel by holding space.
Clandestine is your byword. To avoid being spotted during insertion, don't land. Stay alert to LZ watch pressure to report your landing. The enemy is going to send trackers out.
So the game has picked the where it wants the landers in. Now if we go into the map and we move to where we are, we can kind of see where we're going to go. Just click on map. So it looks like we're going to, is it London or Madrid? One of these two. Probably LZ Madrid. So we know we're going to have to sort of head off northwest in this particular direction. Now again, when we hit the ground, what we're going to do is we're going to get all of our teammates to exit the helicopter first before we do. If we exit first, what could possibly happen is that the helicopter take off with our teammates on, and we'll be left on our own, or we'll ask them to jump out as the helicopter is leaving, and they will fall to their deaths, which isn't very good at all. How you doing, fellas? Alright. Okay, so we're getting down. So what I do now is I hit the tilde button and I tell everybody to disembark. The tilde button's the one to the left of your number 1 if it's different on your keyboard. And you can see, if you look in the bottom corner, you can see they're all, the little helicopter signs disappearing from the top of them. And when the last one's gone, I will get out too. The game will save. And we have this great moment. Look at that. Look at that. How fantastic is this? Now what we want to do is you want to hit tab. Follow me. I want to stand up. And we want to run into the trees. hit tab, lay dog circle up here. Come on, fellas, not over there. So for some reason, you see these guys over here, 6, 8, and 9 have decided to stay over there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press F6, F8, F9, and we're going to look down, middle click, and we're going to get them, excuse me, to come over. Here they come. And it's just something that happens, I think, with the AI, with Arma 3, that you do get these little glitches every now and again where the AI will fail to do exactly what you want. So this guy isn't. So press F10. I'm just going to look down. I'm going to click in the middle and say, look, come over here. Right, here he comes. Right, so we're all going to be back together again. And we can press M to bring up the map, and we can go to our tasks, and we can see our next task is to patrol the AO. Now the AO, oops, is if we click on map, is there. So we're going to have to head sort of west southwest to get to this particular area. And when you hear shooting, that means the trackers have picked up on your trail, and they use the sound of gunfire to communicate with each other. So you just hear like a bang bang as they fire a rifle, or a bang. Doesn't mean they're firing at you, it just means they're firing to communicate with each other. And at that point we'll want to drop some mines. So for example, if we now press K, we know we want to be going kind of this way. So now what I can do is I can stand up, hit tab, I can say follow me, and we can start moving off into the jungle. And what I can do is, if I again press press tab, I can say, do down on my mouse button, I can say tail gunner place a mine. And then what we should see is one of the guys will place a mine.
If there's negative enemy,
there we go. See, that's that triangle.
So he can release the air assets from standby.
Cali, Spike Team Columbia. All clear.
Columbia, this is Covey. Roger. Good hunting. Out.
Right, so maybe we can double press K to keep the compass up. But we know where we want to go. We want to go in this direction. If you want to kind of have a more immersive view, obviously go to first person, pressing the enter key next to your numpad. And also, if you press Control C, that will slow down the speed at which you walk. And then if you double press Control, your soldier will put his weapon down into more of a kind of relaxed pose. If you want super immersive, this is kind of the speed that you're probably moving through the jungle, wouldn't it? And then we could say, form a file, everybody. We could make sure that stealth is on.
Silence.
So nobody's going to fire. Now at some point you will get the instruction to put down a mine.
Weather's fair. Good to go for TAC air or an emergency extraction.
Now another thing that it's worth doing as well is just keep an eye on your teammates, where they are, because sometimes, like this fella, what's he doing? Why is he back? So the marksman's catching up. So why is this medic stopped? So I think he's F8. Let's have a look. F8. We may be too far away to communicate with him. So for some reason he's stopped. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to come out, we're going to say to everybody else, circle up here, so these guys can make a defensive position while I just go back. Whoa, stop. Right, you got to stay there. You stay there. Okay, dude. Oh dear. So he's F8. So press F8. Regroup. Okay. So he should. He's got his thing about lying down, hasn't he, at the moment? So let's F8. Regroup. See if we can get them to follow us. Okay, so we've got the team back together. You have to give us a specific. Now there is an enemy that has just run past us, a rifleman, but we have not engaged. So now we're ready to move on the target. Hopefully they won't come back. But our AI teammates are very, very good at killing people before you have to get involved in anything. So follow me. Okay, contact ahead. We can press B to get our binoculars out. We could even press 4 to swap over to our M16. The sight on. Press 4 again to go back to our Tommy gun. Press M to check the map. So there is a guy pretty close. Let's see if we can engage this guy. Okay, so we're proceeding through the jungle. My teammates are right behind us. I'm listening out for the beeping of my detector. I stop every now and again to let them catch up. Alright, here we go. Task completed. Patrol AO. So now we've got to patrol the AO, avoiding enemy contact. Which basically means we've just got to kind of wander around a bit, and it's going to tell us to lay down some mines.
And evade. Dog-leg back and forth to throw them off.
So now we've got to plant a mine. So all you need to do is just scroll down on your mouse wheel and say tail gunner, plant a mine. And we've planted that mine. Now remember, as you're playing this, what you can do is you can just press escape and you can save, and that will then save, you know, your location and where all your AI buddies are as well. So you can come back and continue at another point. There's our mine. So now our next task is to find the trail. Now the trail is up here. This is the trail here. So what we'll do now is we'll now head north and we'll get onto this trail. So K to bring up the compass. We'll head this way. Remember, listen out now for gunfire, like sporadic gunfire, and that means that the trackers are on you. And when you hear that, lay down, get your tail gun to put down a mine. And trust me, although you might think, well, in the middle of the jungle, surely they're not going to step on a mine. They do, because the tracker AI is actually quite interesting in the way that it does. They do follow you, and I guess, you know, I mean, in real life, the trackers would have been using things like dogs, and lots of fieldcraft as well. So again, we just stop and we wait. On the harder difficulties, you can't be quite so blasé in running around the jungle, kind of like this. Right, did you hear that bang, 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 bang? That means that there's enemies are tracking us. So what we want to do is we want to say tail gunner, place mine.
Set a charge.
And what we should be doing is kind of going backwards and forwards, dog-legging around to prevent the enemy from knowing exactly where we're heading. See, did you hear that explosion? That would have been a bomb going off. Oh, right, we got contact. Let's change to our M16. Quick look at the map. I think what I was seeing earlier was dead bodies. So we found the trail now.
Cache sites. Shadow it north and you might find one.
So now we've got to find the depot where we're going to drop our doctored ammo. So we'd probably head up here, and then we definitely want to head up to here because this is where the depot will be. Now let's just swap back to my Tommy gun. First things first, I want to get my soldiers across this bit of road and get us heading north quickly. So what we're going to do is we are going to go in more of a Oh, have we bumped into someone else?
100 meters front.
So we're saying advance, so they're going to advance like combat wise.
Target in sight.
So there's a guy over there.
Standing by. Standing by.
Move up fast.
See how they're covering there while these guys move up, and we'll use that to get across this road. And then what we'll do is we will do a circle up here,
Down and quiet.
and then we will move north to find these camps. Okay, so we got into a bit of a contact, and we are now leapfrogging away from the enemy north. But if I keep an eye on the, there we go. So this is the way we're going, kind of northeast, and they're the enemy we were engaged. You see, as soon as I did the leapfrog command, one of them dropped a mine, and they dropped a load of smokes as well to cover our retreat. So now I can say, follow me, and hopefully they'll then start following me now and disengage from the enemy. The thing to remember is that Arma AI are very obsessed with engaging with the enemy. In fact, we've still got these guys behind us, so we might need to finish these guys off.
Targets down.
Oh, somebody stepped on a mine. Okay, so that should be good. Let's go back to Tommy gun. Everybody follow me. Let's carry on with the mission. Unfortunately, we did lose a member of the team, Operator 9, to a punji spike, which I didn't hear the warning for. That popped up and just killed him straight away. Okay, so we're in quite a dangerous position now. We need to push forward across this road, and pretty sure we've got trackers on our tail.
Set a charge.
So we're going to head north. Now this is where we can run into things like trucks and machine gun trucks that are very, very dangerous. In fact, I can hear one. Yeah, we've definitely got trackers on our tail.
10. Set a charge.
Right, there's an enemy soldier there. Right, we need to get across this road.
Target down. Target down.
Reloading. Attack! North! 100 meters! Move up! Fast!
Let's go.
Waiting.
Move up! Fast!
Scratch one. Standing by.
Move up! Fast!
Get that top line. Soldier, 100 meters left. Standing by. Waiting.
Move up! Fast!
Waiting.
Move up! Fast!
on, boys.
Soldier, 75 meters behind us. Truck, 400 meters. Southwest.
Okay, we definitely need to be getting this way. Come on.
Attack! North! 100 meters! Move up! Fast!
Car, 400 meters. Southwest.
Come on. Let's go. Cannot afford to engage these. See, that one of these was probably a gun truck, and they are very, very dangerous. They can chew you apart in no time at all. So hopefully we successfully got ourselves out of that gunfight, and now we are quite a lot closer to the enemy camps. Okay, so we're getting close to where the enemy camps could possibly be. So this is like our area of operations now. Here we go. So we need to find the enemy camps somewhere, maybe here or up here. They'll be on the road. So what we're going to do, we're going to head over here to the northeast, trying to avoid enemy contact before we get there, and then we'll try and be super stealthy when we get there, which will probably... Oh, contact. Okay, let's keep going. Ooh.
Scratch one!
Right, we got to keep going. You got to keep pushing. But you see how good our friendly AI are at seeing enemies and then start shooting them and then killing them as well, before you really have to get engaged. That's why I kind of really enjoy using the SOG AI, because it means you spend a lot of your time really... You're not thinking about shooting people. You're just thinking about managing your squad and making sure everybody's together, and are they following you? Has anybody got lost? All this sort of thing. Okay, so if we start heading north now, if we put down a mine,
10! Set a charge!
put down a mine, and then we'll start heading north. Okay, so after searching all around this area here, couldn't find the supply depot, so it means that it will be here. So I kind of made a strategic error when I first started off. I should have probably gone here first before I went over here. But it's because I've done a couple of missions where I've had to go over here. So we're heading this way now. This is the road to our right, which probably, yeah, you can definitely hear there's trucks moving up and down it. So we need to be suitably careful when we move along.
75 meters to the right of us.
Okay, yeah, don't engage. Don't engage. Oh, so much for that idea. That sounds like a big gun truck, doesn't it? Okay, let's go, let's go. Follow me, follow me, follow me. Let's get out of it. Let's not engage a gun truck. There's white phosphorus going off back there. Okay, so we are now here, just east of the camp where the boxes are. We've had the tag that tells us these are the boxes. Now, unfortunately, this part of the mission can often bug out, so I've got a little cheat for us as well. So in the description below the video, you'll see this line here, _mine, createMine, blah, 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 blah. And what we're going to do is when we get to the truck, if we don't get the prompt to drop our booby-trapped ammo box, we're just going to pause the game and we're going to paste this in, and that will trigger that bit of the game, because it does bug out an awful lot. Sometimes they reckon it could be to do with a problem with mods. Sometimes I think it's just buggy itself. So what I've done is my guys are all just going to wait here. In fact, we're going to give them the freeze command so they don't go anywhere. And what I'm going to do is stealthily see if I can make my way into the camp. Alright, okay, we're taking fire. Okay, so I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to fight our way in then. Let's fight our way in.
Fall back!
Let's go, boys.
meters.
Now,
Front.
there's a guard down here who we're going to have to take out.
Fast.
There he is.
Target down.
Move up. 75 meters. Front.
Let's move up here.
Attack. West. 100 meters. Move up. Man.
Contact medic. Frag out. Frag out.
Now this is the truck. Now what should happen is when we get near the truck, we should get a thing that says put the spike ammo in place, but often that won't happen. No. So what we're going to do, we're going to pause the game. We're going to copy this. We're going to go back to here. We're just going to put it into the execute like that. And then we're just going to press enter. Task completed. And now we can just get out of Dodge.
Get the team out of here before anyone wakes up.
So let's get these guys out of here.
Target
Attack.
acquired.
South. 100 meters. Up.
Ooh, ooh.
Target down. I've got him.
Where'd they go?
Hostile down.
Okay, so we've got the team together again, and now we need to exit the area. So what we're going to do is head this way. So follow me, chaps. Follow me.
Hostile under fire. He's down.
25 meters. Front.
Target down.
Keep going.
Soldier. 100 meters. Just up ahead.
Scratch one. Target down.
Rally up.
Right, we've got to watch out for this road, though.
They're on to you. Remember your immediate action drills and break contact.
Okay, tail gunner
10,
place
set a
mine.
charge.
Use claymores and grenades to buy some distance, then run like fucking hell. Get your asses to an LZ.
Covey, Columbia, we need extraction, over.
Columbia, Covey. Roger. Head south. Out.
Right, reach the LZ, which is 1.6 kilometers away. So what we've got to do now is just fight our way to the LZ. Okay, so we're about 800 meters out from the LZ. Let's just see where it is. LZ Santiago. So now's a good time just to make ourselves familiar with the how we call in airstrikes. So we can do, if you click on radio support, so go down with your mouse wheel, you can then zoom in, and what we can do is we can go pick a condor for high explosives, say we want it there, and say confirm normal. And that will then, when we've got the appropriate air cover, will come in and drop whatever we want there. So that's a Cobra, then we have Cobra, and then we have F4 Phantoms. So we're going to be doing that basically when we
100 meters. Right.
Ooh.
Man. 75 meters. Right. Man. 100 meters.
get near to the LZ.
Scratch one. Hostile down.
Now when we get to the LZ, there'll be a crater, and we can use SOG AI and its context sensitive commands to get the guys to defend a crater. Put down another mine,
10, set a charge.
because they'll definitely be on our tail. Right, here we go. So this is the sort of area it'll be. So we'll wait for the guys to catch up.
You've reached the LZ. Take cover, hold the high ground. Call TAC Air on these bastards.
Right, Come on, follow me, come on.
Rally up.
So here we go, so we can probably defend this area. Where's the high ground? Here we go. All defend the crater.
King Bees are en route, but we gotta hold on. Keep the enemy off the LZ.
Come on guys, get in the crater. Oh, what are they doing over there? Come on. What's that? That's 8 and 6. F6.
6.
Copy!
Move left.
Columbia! They're on top of us! Give me 20, Mike. Rockets and Nate, all along our front, but we're never going to make it.
Here we go.
Columbia, copy, roger. Air is coming in hot. Just keep your heads down and keep on shooting. The King Bees will be there in 2 mics.
Now when you're playing this on hard difficulty, obviously you get lots and lots of enemies coming after you.
Contact, man.
Here we go.
Contact, rifleman.
Right, let's call in some air support. Put it in there.
Copy, Columbia. We need air support. Over.
Oh, well done, they finally came over here.
Roger. Tell me where you want it.
Copy. Laid up the tree line to our southwest.
Columbia, copy. Air inbound. 1 mic. Over. Columbia, roger. Fast air inbound.
Contact, man. Man, 75 meters front. Contact, machine gunner.
Phew.
Columbia, copy. Aircraft for Winchester. RT.
Nice.
Man, 75 meters front. Taking fire.
I'm going to kiss you,
Any thumbs will help. Everybody get on.
Columbia, copy. Aircraft for Winchester. RTB, out.
One more. Right, let's go.
Just sit down, LZG's flying out on a stable rig. Great if that's all you got, but that rig is one painful-ass way to fly.
That's it. All we got to do is fly back to base, take the plaudits, and we have completed Eldest Son, sort of. It's a bit of a walkthrough, this one. It's a bit of a practice just to get used to the mechanics of playing Prairie Fire. And obviously if we're using SOG AI, I like this one. It's a really good one for just practicing how you get the soldiers to move around. we've been playing it on easy. We've used obviously a few cheats as well to get us through, but it should definitely whet your appetite about what's possible, kind of what adventures you can have, and probably also to really make you think about, you know, if you've got time to play multiplayer. But I think with the latest updates that have happened to Prairie Fire 1.3 and SOG AI, you know, we've got a really solid experience for single player Arma 3, as long as you're willing to kind of just be ready for the glitches and the fact that you may well have to make a few little compromises with things like the odd cheat mod to get you through to so you can enjoy the whole of the mission. So there we go, SOG Prairie Fire Eldest Son first mission. Hopefully we'll be doing some more tutorials to get you through these solo missions, because they are an awful lot of fun to play, and they were all designed originally for multiplayer only, but with the amazing SOG AI mod we can now actually play them with our AI friends, which is absolutely amazing. Now, we haven't all made it home, but we've dealt the enemy a blow with our spiked ammunition, and we're looking forward to the next mission. So anyway, that's enough from me. Hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, hit like. If you want to see more of the same, press subscribe, and of course I'll see you again soon.
Welcome back. Head over to the Recon Club for a cold one. Swap lessons learned with the other spike team. They weren't sure you'd make it out of there. Your job, well,